a secret surprise is coming to your house. 8 minutes left, claim it. It's very urgent, open this, listen closely. I'm speaking to you now, right now. Not after the noise settles, not after you scroll, not when your courage is rested and your doubts have taken a day off. In this breath, in this heartbeat, in this blink where thought becomes intent, I am here. Nearer than the flicker of your screen, kinder than the weather of your thoughts, steady as the pulse that keeps you tethered to this moment. Be still for a second. Hear the hum beneath the hum. Feel the sense that something is moving toward you from the edges, stepping into view, knocking with intention. There's a door in front of you that has rattled for so long you thought the rattling was the room. You learn to sleep to it, talk over it, plan around it. Today, I'm turning the handle. 8 minutes. 8 minutes of mercy braided with momentum. 8 minutes that do not demand panic, but invite precision. 8 minutes that lift you from the hallway of almost into the room of finally. 8 minutes is not a threat. It's a trumpet. Do not run from this kindness. Do not minimize what wants to maximize you. Do not tell your worth to wait outside while opportunity takes a seat. Open. Now. You think the world is made of accidents and headlines, but what you can't see is the arrangement, the choreography under the surface. Quiet clocks and unseen corridors. Introductions rehearsed and held in the wings until timing and readiness looked at each other and nodded. I've been crisscrossing the ordinary to deliver the extraordinary straight to your threshold. The path is not random. The footsteps are not clumsy. The door you couldn't find yesterday is lit today. Listen again. I use routes you didn't predict. I take the long way around flimsy assumptions and the short way through crowded doubt. I signal through a stray sentence overheard, a message that lands at the exact minute, a suggestion that somehow feels like remembering. I guide strangers toward you carrying pieces of a puzzle they don't even know they hold. I soften hearts that once closed at your approach. I clear tables where you were once turned away. I turn a room into a river. 8 minutes. In 8 minutes a seed breaks soil and declares, I am alive. In 8 minutes sunlight hikes across continents and kisses a different window. In 8 minutes a verdict is read, a plane leaves ground, a mind changes, a life pivots, a heart says yes. In 8 minutes, fear can lose its argument and courage can take the microphone. In 8 minutes, what you rehearsed becomes what you release. In 8 minutes you can dust the shelf where the answer will sit. Do not waste the countdown on pacing. Spend it on preparing. Breathe. Let the air enter fully. Let the shoulder drop. Let the jaw unclench. Let the little storms of old opinions lose their lightning. Because there is talk in the corridors you cannot see, talk with your name in it. Not with malice. With warmth. With curious tilt and open chair. The same rooms where your voice once fell, carpeted and quiet, are now leaning in, catching the consonants, savoring the vowels. The same feeds that scrolled past are pausing. The same gates that clanged shut are coasting open, as if a hinge remembered it was a hinge. Yes, There are hands you didn't expect reaching forward. Not to take. To lift. Not to shape you into their outline. To steady you in your own. But listen, do not make an idol of the messenger. Honor the message. The messenger might be a text on a Tuesday, a call that begins with, "You don't know me," but a doorbell at a time you almost missed, a document that lands where you can sign with peace. Look beyond the glow of delivery to the purpose it carries. It is not stagecraft. It is alignment. I have watched you stand at closed doors and call yourself the reason they stayed shut. I have watched you press your ear to the wood and think that silence meant absence. The delay was not a denial. It was a forming ground. The waiting room was a workshop. While you stared at the lock, your heart learned the weight of keys. Now hear me. The seed is cracking. The green is pushing. The light is calling a name you recognize as yours. 8 minutes. I see your timeline, a braid of detours and dog-eared pages, cracked sidewalks and constellations you can trace without a sky. I see the paragraphs that held too much grief to fit into a sentence. I see the jokes you made to keep sorrow from seeing your real face. I see the days you cleaned the same corner of the same room not because it was dirty but because you needed to move something, even if it was only dust. The flame never went out. It dimmed, it tucked itself in, it learned to be small in loud rooms, but it never went out. I cupped it with a hand you couldn't see. I shielded it from breaths that didn't mean well. I guarded it from the drafts of casual cruelty and the gusts of tired cynicism. I bent over it when the world walked by. That ember is a bird now. Listen to its wings. Do not argue with your blessing because it wears a costume you didn't order. Opportunity is a tailor that doesn't use your mirror. It uses your measure. You asked for a sign that can't be faked. So look for this, peace that doesn't ask permission. Clarity that doesn't raise its voice. An offer that nods at your integrity instead of nibbling at it. You've survived rooms that would have briefly celebrated you and then devoured the softness you protect. Closed doors were not punishment. They were guardrails, angles of mercy disguised as denial. Applaud them with what you know now. This is that day. This is that minute. This is the breath where your yes overpowers your history. 8 minutes. In 8 minutes, a tide will turn so gently you won't notice until your knees aren't wet. In 8 minutes, a kettle sings and you remember to sit. In 8 minutes, code compiles, a test returns, the page number turns, the edge blurs into a step. In 8 minutes, a city goes from almost awake to awake. In 8 minutes, you go from waiting for a knock to hearing it. Prepare. Not with panic. With order. Blessing loves order. Momentum loves expectation. Make a square of space on your desk. Clear a line on your calendar. Set a chair where gratitude can sit. Make room in your sentences for the words you've been avoiding: yes, send, submit, accept, ask. Do this immediately. Forgive the ones who taught you to shrink. Not because they were right, but because you are done carrying them into rooms that will be heavier than they are. Do this immediately. Turn the volume down on voices that sell you your own fear with a discount. Do this immediately. Choose a task that would make tomorrow easier and give it 8 minutes of undivided attention. Watch how 8 minutes trains the hour. Do this immediately. Place your hand over your heart. Feel that steadying? That is proof that timing has a pulse. That is proof you can be calm without being passive. That is proof that stillness can be a sprint when it's pointed at the right door. I have walked ahead of you on your streets. I boxed up the shards of yesterday's sharp words and put them where bare feet cannot find them. I tuned the hinges so the door would sing when it opened. I oiled the lock with patience so the key would slide without scraping the edge of the morning. I stopped the shadows where despair liked to loiter and posted kindness on the corner. You ask, is this real? My answer is quiet and stubborn. It is more real than the habit of worry that tries to rehearse disaster just to be ready. It is more real than the gravity of fatigue that tugs at every bright thing. It is more real than the remark that landed crooked on a day you were too tired to straighten it. Reality is not always loud. Sometimes it's the single bell you hear even when the street is noisy. Listen, peace is ringing. A secret surprise is approaching, but it is not a trick. It is treasure wrapped in discretion. I hid it from the eyes that wanted to spend it before you could steward it. I held it back. Not to tease you, but to time you. I shielded it with a palm like a hand shielding a candle from a rushing wind, crossing a street where crosswinds play games with small flames. Now I lower the hand and let the light stand up on its own. It may look like an invitation that feels strangely familiar, like something you already said yes to in a dream. It may look like a message with a tone you can trust. It may arrive as a package with weight but not burden, a call that lands softly on your name, a path that feels like a memory you haven't lived yet. You will know it by the peace floating above it. You will know it by the way your courage walks to the door before you tell it to. Expect the knock. Expect the ping. Expect the call. Expect the little lift in your spirit that says, this. When it happens, do not freeze in old unworthiness. Do not rehearse your smallness. Do not make the moment carry your past. Open. Receive. Let gratitude stand at your shoulder and say, welcome. Your posture matters. Shoulders back, not to perform but to make room for breath. Chin steady, not to defy but to align. Eyes clear, not to challenge but to see. I have seen the hands that tried to pry your future open with impatience. I have seen the watchers who wanted what you carry without wanting the nights that fashioned it. I shielded you from flattery that would have turned you into a mirror instead of a window. I shielded you from sabotage that would have worn your shape to get through places it had no business in. Protection is not always a wall. Sometimes it's a delay. You were not late. You were being fitted. 8 minutes. In 8 minutes, soup cools, nerves settle, ink dries, the first note is found, the last excuse expires. In 8 minutes, the runway is cleared and 1,000 sensors say go. In 8 minutes, a conversation begins that rewrites a year. In 8 minutes, you can change your mind about living small. Do not be afraid of scale. I have built room in you to carry what arrives. If the box looks big, it is because you grew while you thought you were waiting. If the envelope looks thin, it is because brevity doesn't mean smallness. Sometimes the shortest lines draw the longest roads. When it arrives, sit with it for a breath before you announce it. Let gratitude season it. Let peace settle around it like a wrap. Then speak when speaking serves, not to perform, not to outrun doubt with decibels, but to bear witness. Your story is not a billboard. It is a window. Let someone see through it and remember they have an address too. You are not a cul-de-sac of good things. You are a channel. You are a throughway. What comes to you is not a hoard. It is a harvest with seeds in it. Share without draining. Give without proving. Keep without clutching. I am sweeping your rooms for the old whispers that leapt at every joy with a what if. The whispers that insisted a thief walks faster than kindness, that crisis has better shoes. Those voices are not yours. They came with no return address and they can leave the same way. I am the porch light that doesn't burn out. I am the seal at your threshold. You will not be ambushed by sorrow while you open the door to joy. I am putting a lamp called discernment in your hand. Hold it up to every offer. Anything that does not carry the fragrance of peace, turn away immediately. Anything that asks you to become smaller than the person you have learned to be, lay it down without ceremony. Anything that invites you to stretch into your honest size, lean in. You will feel it. Your bones will know. You ask about timing, now. You ask about worthiness, presence is your proof. You ask about endurance, it has been braided into you while you slept. You ask about the messenger. Honor the human, love the truth, keep your awe about the mystery that put it in your path. Remember, routes are unusual on purpose. It keeps us awake. Stand up inside. Put your hand over your heart. Feel the steadying. Kindness like warm light. Courage like returning birds. You won't flinch at the sound of opportunity anymore. You won't call the smell of blessing smoke from a fire that doesn't exist. You won't apologize for receiving what you were always meant to steward. This is not stolen. This is not borrowed. This is not a trick lens. This is yours to carry like water in a clean jar, enough to drink and enough to pour. Wisdom will stand beside you while you sign what should be signed, decline what should be declined, ask the right questions, invite the right counsel, and let predatory counsel drift out of range like a signal you don't need. Pause with what arrives. Let gratitude make it vivid. Let rest make it durable. Then speak as you are led, with sentences that open windows instead of building stages. Someone will hear your ordinary tone and feel extraordinary hope. Notice your breathing right now. The tightness loosens. The worry softens. Fear folds its wings and settles somewhere that is not your lap. This is not trickery. This is alignment. This is what happens when you allow design to meet desire without shame between them. I am in your now, not only in your not yet. I am in your house, not only in your hopes. The knock is coming. The message will light your screen. The opportunity will ring your bell. The gift will carry your name and fit your hands. The world may call it luck. You will call it design. I call it promise kept. Stop surveying the ruins you already rebuilt in your mind. Face forward. Take another breath. Between the inhale and the exhale there is room for one yes. Say it plainly, I receive. Feel the key in your palm. See the lock you stopped seeing as a lock. Turn it. The door swings. The hinges sing like birds that think morning is a good idea. Step through. You are not leaving people behind. You are entering a space where you can bless them better. You are not abandoning humility. You are wearing it correctly, a crown that doesn't slip because gratitude holds it steady. Walk. I am ahead of you, placing chairs where you will need to sit, water where you will need to drink, laughter where you will need to remember lightness. I am behind you, gathering the dropped threads and weaving them into a rope that looks like resilience. I am with you in the gift that comes and the wisdom that keeps it from becoming a burden. Nothing about this is random. Nothing about this is counterfeit. Nothing about this is late. When you felt like a corridor with no doors, you were a threshold disguised as a hallway. The countdown is not panic, it is focus. 8 minutes is enough to lay down the last stone of unbelief. 8 minutes is enough to choose expectancy over suspicion. 8 minutes is enough to clear the table, to set the plate, to fold the napkin of your nervousness into something like a banner. This is the chapter where miracles feel normal because gratitude is your native language. Hope walks like it owns the street. Joy stops apologizing for taking up space. Cynicism learns to sit quietly in the back row and watch wonder teach. Do not trade the near for the noisy. Do not let the world tug on your sleeve while you are fastening your yes. The other voices can wait. This one will not. If there is a knock, answer with peace. If there is a message, reply with courage. If there is an invitation, sit at the table without shrinking. If there is a gift, unwrap it slowly. Let gratitude narrate. And to the part of you that whispers a catch must be hiding somewhere like a hook in cotton, there is none. The only net here is the one that catches you before you fall back into old habits of doubt. Release suspicion, it wrote you a survival manual, but you are writing a living one now. Release the careful guard that kept you from harm but also from embrace. You can be safe without being sealed. Measure what arrives by the peace it brings to your ribs. Measure it by the clarity that lifts like a curtain and lets you see. Measure it by the way generosity wakes up and stretches in you, by the names that appear in your prayers like old friends arriving without knocking. Measure it by how much more room you have for gentle strength. I see what frightened you in the dark, the rumor that loss walks faster than love, the lie that you will be tricked at the doorway, the memory that tried to masquerade as prophecy. I have placed watchmen around your rest. I am your midnight and your morning. I am the porch light that waits out every storm. You will not sign away your peace. You will not be baited by shine that has no weight. Your discernment is a lamp with new batteries. When you are ready, listen, you do not need to become someone else to step into this. You will not outgrow yourself to fit a new room, the room will grow to fit you. You will not need to flatten your joy to make others comfortable. Comfort will learn a new shape. Remember, I use unusual routes on purpose. I do not love predictable pipes. I build highways where maps show deserts, springs in stone, meetings across distance until distance feels like gauze you can breathe through. I give you companions you didn't know you needed and release you from opinions you never needed at all. Stand inside yourself. Hand to heart. There it is again, the steadying. The kindness that doesn't tremble. The courage that knows its own way home. You will not sabotage this. You will not shrink your yes to fit yesterday. You will not rehearse unworthiness as if it were humility. Receiving well is part of the assignment. You will know what to sign. You will know when to ask for time. You will know who to bring close and who to let drift without anger. You will know, because peace is louder than you remember. When the surprise has crossed your threshold, sit a moment. Let silence bless it. Let your breath wrap around it. Then, when the time is ripe, speak, not to recruit admiration but to offer evidence. Your words will be a window. Others will see motion in that room and remember they were not forgotten either. Look at you, notice the change. The tightness untying. The jaw slackening into certainty. The shoulders learning what lightness weighs. This is not a trance. This is design doing what it does when attention is offered like a gift. For a long time, you called the hallway home. You learned the texture of the paint and the squeak of the floorboards and the way the light refused to visit at certain hours. That was a school. This is a door. It opens. It is opening. 8 minutes has become arrival. The door is open. Welcome home to favor that does not blush in scrutiny. Welcome home to rooms that fit and windows that face the right directions. Welcome home to work that feels like an answer and rest that feels like trust. Welcome home to a calendar that moves with your soul instead of against it. Rise. Move. Keep your heart soft, your mind clear, your hands open. If there is a knock, let peace be your hello. If there is a message, let courage be your keyboard. If there is an invitation, let presence be your RSVP. If there is a gift, let gratitude be the ribbon you keep. This is the road where joy stops asking permission. This is the hour where gentle strength is the loudest thing in the room. This is the moment where the dream your younger self clapped for finally walks on stage and bows back. 8 minutes taught you focus. 8 minutes taught you to breathe on purpose. 8 minutes taught you that readiness is a language and you are fluent. Now step. Carry the lamp called discernment. Wear the crown called humility. Hold the rope called patience braided with courage. Let kindness guard your doors.